Hi, I'm Rob Kramer. I'm here to teach you how to play my game, Turbo Drift. Turbo Drift is a real space racing game for 2 to 4 players that takes 30 minutes to play. In Turbo Drift, there are 18 cards in 6 different types. There are 4 cars, 6 path cards, 5 obstacle cards, 1 boost card, 1 first player card, and 1 finish line card. The goal of the game is to get your car to touch the finish line, either with your car or with one of the path cards that you use on your turn. To set up Turbo Drift, take the 5 obstacle cards, place one in the center of the table, and arrange the 4 other ones around it. Take the finish line card, put it on one end of the table, and arrange the cars on the other side, on an imaginary line so that they're equidistant from the finish line card. Take the 6 path cards and arrange them in a 2x3 grid. You will be randomly giving the first player card to anyone, so you can just spin it, and whoever the green light is pointing towards will be the first player. Or you can choose randomly or roll dice or do whatever you want. The person with the first player card starts each round. They will pick cards and then drive, and then each other person will take their turns until each player has taken a turn per round. On a person's turn, they can pick 1, 2, or 3 path cards from this grid. If you pick 1 card from the grid, you can pick any of the 6 cards available, and you can choose which player gets the first player card. That includes yourself. If someone has already chosen 1 card during the round, you can still choose 1 card and reassign the first player card. If they pick 2 cards, they can pick any of the 3 columns of cards and arrange them in any order that they wish. If they pick 3 cards, they can pick any of the 2 rows of cards, but they have to shuffle them before playing. After a player has picked the cards they want to use to drive, they take the boost card, place it behind their car, and remove the car from in front of it. They will then take the cards that they picked from the grid and line them up against the boost card, connecting the tire paths. Then they will flip over their car to its B side to show that it's moved during the round, and then they will remove the path cards, flip them over, and return them to the grid. If a path card you are playing overlaps a boost icon on a barrier card, then you will take the boost card from the back of the paths and place it on the front. Then you can place your car or any unused path cards in front of that boost card. So these give you a boost of speed throughout the game. If a path card you are playing overlaps a barrier, your car has crashed. You have to remove path cards from your path so that your car can fit on the path again. It's possible that you don't move in a turn due to a crash. You can crash with obstacles or other cars on the course. And you crash if you will overlap their card, not just the outline of the car itself. Once per game, instead of just choosing 1 to 3 cards from the grid, you can go turbo and take all 6 cards from the grid and hand them to your neighbor. Your neighbor will shuffle them, and you will use these cards to drive. On your turn, you can call for 1 more path card to be added. You don't get to see what it is before it is placed. At any time, you can stop driving and place your car on the last path card that was placed. But if ever your car does not fit or crashes, you are out of the game. Your car has crashed, punctured a tire, blown up. You are out of the race. Luckily, the game isn't that long. A little tip about Turbo is that there are 3 left turn path cards and 3 right turn path cards. so that you can tell if you have better odds of turning left or right in the next card. The round ends once all players have taken one turn. You can tell if all players have taken a turn if cars are all on the same side after driving. The next round will begin by the player who has the first player card. In this way, players can take 2 turns in a row if they took the last turn and took only one card, and place the first player card in front of themselves. A player wins if they use one of their path cards or their car to overlap the finish line card. If, in the process of doing so, they overlap with a car or another barrier, they crash and do not win the race. You have to be able to touch the finish line card without touching anything else. And that is how you play Turbo Drift.